Jessica had always considered herself a successful woman. From a young age, she wanted one thing: to reach the very top of the legal profession. While her classmates dreamed about traveling, starting families, or living quiet lives, Jessica dreamed of something different. She dreamed of winning cases, of prestige, of respect. She worked relentlessly, no breaks, no weekends, no pity for herself. And eventually, it paid off. Jessica became a partner at a prestigious law firm in New York. She made great money. She owned a beautiful house, drove an expensive car, and wore designer clothes. It seemed like she had achieved everything she had ever dreamed of. But there was something she didn't notice for a long time. Her big house was too quiet. In the evenings, she would come home from work, kick off her heels, place her bag on the table, and walk into the spacious living room. Sometimes she turned on the TV just for background noise. She'd heat up dinner, scroll through work emails, then go to bed. The next day, it would all happen again, day after day, week after week, year after year. And while her career kept rising, something else was quietly disappearing from her life: her family. Her elderly mother lived far away in a small house in Kansas. There was a time when they talked for hours, laughing, sharing stories, telling each other everything. But over the years, the phone calls became shorter. "Sweetheart, when are you coming to visit?" her mother would ask softly. "Soon, Mom. I have a really important case right now, but I promise I'll come." And Jessica truly believed what she said. She thought to herself, just a little longer, just a few more years, I'll earn enough money, and then I'll be able to give Mom everything she deserves. But time doesn't wait. And while Jessica was building her career, her mother was growing older. Jessica also had an older brother, Michael. When they were kids, they were inseparable. They played together. They argued together. They dreamed together. But life eventually took them in different directions. Michael chose a completely different path. He became a school teacher in a small town in Texas. His salary was modest. His house was small. But his home had something Jessica's huge house didn't: life. Michael had a wife, Sarah, a kind, calm woman with warm eyes, and 2 children, a son named Tom and a little daughter named Emma. Their home was always filled with voices, laughter, and the sound of children running around. Every evening they had dinner together. The kids talked about what happened at school. Sarah joked and laughed. Michael listened carefully to everyone. On weekends, they played baseball in the yard, drove to the lake, baked pies, or simply watched old family movies together. Sometimes Michael sent Jessica photos: Tom holding his first fish, Emma asleep on her father's shoulder, Sarah laughing in the kitchen covered in flour while they baked cookies together. Jessica would look at those photos late at night, sitting alone in her big house. Sometimes she even wondered, how could someone with such an ordinary job look so happy? She would sometimes tease her brother. "You're so smart, Michael. Why don't you try business or law?" Michael would just smile. "Because I already have everything I need." "And what's that?" "Time with the people I love." Jessica would just shrug. She didn't understand him until the day she did. One evening, the phone rang. It was her mother. Her voice was shaking. "Sweetheart, your father is very sick." Jessica felt like the world had suddenly stopped. She immediately started packing her things. But work got in the way. An urgent case, an important client, a court hearing. "I'll come tomorrow, Mom, I promise." The next day, something came up again. Another contract, another critical document. "I'll come tomorrow." But tomorrow doesn't always come in time. A few days later, she received a call from the hospital. Her father had passed away. Jessica drove home, barely remembering the road. When she walked into the house, Michael was already there. His wife Sarah stood beside him, and the children were quietly standing close to her. They had come as soon as they heard about the illness. Michael had spent the last days with their father, holding his hand, talking with him, being there, something Jessica hadn't done. Michael silently hugged his sister, and in that moment, Jessica realized something terrifying. Money can't buy one more day. A career can't turn back time. No success in the world can give her the chance to say to her father one more time, "Dad, I love you." The following weeks felt like a blur, but during that time, Jessica began noticing things she had overlooked before. Every morning, Michael made breakfast for the kids. Sarah helped their mother around the house. In the evenings, they all sat together at the same table. They laughed, they shared stories, they remembered their father. And for the first time, Jessica truly felt the difference between their lives. Michael didn't have much money, but he had a life. Jessica had everything, except the most important things. One day, she found an old family photo album. As she flipped through the pages, she suddenly realized how many moments she had missed.
Picnics, holidays, family evenings, birthdays, life. Tears rolled down her face, and then she understood the most important thing. Success isn't money. Success is the people sitting next to you when you finally put your phone down. Slowly, Jessica began to change. She started visiting her family more often. She played with her niece and nephew. She cooked with her mom. She listened to Michael's stories about school. One day, he invited her to a school concert. Jessica sat in the audience next to her mother. Children performed on stage, and suddenly she felt a warmth she hadn't felt in years. And in that moment, she understood a simple truth. You can live in a big house and still be lonely, or you can live in a small house and be truly happy. And do you know the saddest part? Most people realize this too late. When their parents are no longer waiting by the door, when their brother or sister stops calling, when children's voices disappear from the house, when only silence remains. And then we suddenly understand. All the money in the world cannot buy one more dinner with your family, one more conversation with your mother, one more day with the people you love. So if there are people in your life who are waiting for you, don't leave them for tomorrow, because one day tomorrow may never come.